All right, got a YouTube live stream here. This is Link right now. This is Link paired with US Tether on the 5-minute chart, and then we also have Link right here on the hour chart, so we can see the hour chart as well as the 5-minute. We see we broke to the upside here pretty significantly. We're getting a pretty strong pullback, but we were initially looking at entering. If it did pull back here, we didn't see a full pullback to where we were kind of looking, around $4.44, so we did not enter. We did see increasing buy pressure looking into the market. We were just looking for that little more of a pullback for us to look to enter. Unfortunately, we didn't get that, so we did not enter, but that is all right. We still are seeing the price pull back here. Hopefully, we are able to get the price to maybe pull back a little bit further here. Risk reward is not ideal at this point in time. We are looking for just a push from the current area right here to our resistance zone. Doesn't seem like much, but it's around 4-5%. But looking at the risk we would have to take if we are entering here, we would have to have a risk of 2.5 or more. Obviously, that's not worth it. We need to have an entry lower down here. So if the price does come down to these levels, I would be looking to enter. But at this point in time, it's just too high for me to enter at this point. So I'm not going to be looking to take any entries. But we have discussed within the team, within the Performante team, that we are looking for entries on Link if it does provide it at these lower levels, but at this point we're not able to see it right now. BTC on the 5-minute, usually I keep it on the 1 hour, but we do see a squeeze on the 5-minute time frame here on a level of support. Could just be a consolidation, but we are seeing a little bit of a reaction within the market, seeing more buy volume come into a lot of these alts here. Link has seen a substantial amount of buy volume compared to a lot of the other alts. We can see Ethereum not getting a lot, XRP is not getting a lot, Litecoin's not getting a lot, Cardano, EOS, none of the altcoins are getting a significant amount of buy volume except for really just Link within the alts that I'm looking at. So we are going to try to attack this for a long here if the market does present a nice opportunity for us to enter. If the market is able to provide an additional price action pattern at this zone here, then we could be looking for an additional entry. For example, if we draw a descending triangle, symmetrical triangle, ascending, descending, wedge, descending channel, consolidation, horizontal consolidation, something that is going to indicate some price action pattern. You know, we could be entering longs if it holds this level of support, maybe for 2-3 injections, really signifying this area as a nice area for buyers to be located right around here. So if we see 2-3 injections, we may put an entry here. We'll have to put a smaller position size, which obviously makes sense because we have an increased amount of risk. But if we are able to get a couple injections of buy pressure, signaling that there are buyers and this area of support is going to hold, then we can look for an entry, trying to get the lower half here, and then with a stop loss below this area because it's the previous level of resistance. We're going to set a stop loss below here, so it's going to be a little bit wider of a zone, but we'll just reduce our position size. And then looking at the 1 hour chart, we can see that the 466 range, 466 range is the start of the next resistance area. So if we're entering at the lows here, maybe 4.49, we get a reward of 3.75 and a risk of 1.5. So, you know, that's pretty good. That's not so bad. So we got the first pullback, candidly closed red, but we got a pretty major rejection here from the bulls in the market. So we'll see how the next couple candles go. BTC is also in a symmetrical triangle, so we are going to look at that on the 5-minute. On the hour, we have been seeing a lot of wicks to the downside, showing strength of this support, previous structure resistance. We can see all throughout this zone right here. Rejection, 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 rejection. Once we broke it, and we see that signaling with a huge wick to the downside. Now we're holding this as a nice level of support here. Could see a lower high come in, because we've seen the market structure create a high. This is a lower high, this is a lower high, and we see the wick right here. We could see a potential lower high test this zone, or at least the previous zone right here. So then for Link, we could see the price jump up that a little bit move here, because for BTC, it's not a whole lot, maybe 0.5% or 1%, but that could just be enough to push the confidence for the alts and the people who are in Link to those highs there. So could be an opportunity, and that's kind of the minimum resistance that we could be hitting. We have another one up here that we do see that could get hit as well. We don't even need to see it hold there. For example, this wick here was a significant amount of buy volume. You could just see a surge momentarily within that hour to get the buy pressure up, and then we just take our profits and then leave and be happy with it. So we will be ready and aware of this potential, but at this point in time, we don't see a significant break yet. We just are seeing the 5-minute candle close above it right now, it looks like, although we don't see it close yet, so we can't make any confirmations. Looking at the volume, there's not a tremendous amount of buy volume pushing the price up. We do see the support here get held 3 times, so it's a potentially dependable area. Once we see it get held a 4th time, then we can call it a dependable area. Also, we are going to just put a projection on this zone. So if this zone does break, we could potentially use this area to find a short, at least minimum to the bottom here, so then it would look like a double bottom. Not a huge range, but then looking again at the alts, you're able to find these 2-3 percentages because alts are more volatile. You don't need a crazy move, you just need a 2-3 percentages. If you're risking 1%, your risk reward is 2-3%, you're only risking 1%, and you're able to capture a significant move. You don't need leverage, you don't need margin if your risk reward is in fact where it should be, or in an ideal situation. So in that said, let's just see if this candle closes. Just quickly looking at the YouTube here. Got 1 person watching at the moment. What I'm going to do is set up the TikTok, because we get a significant amount of traction on the TikTok, even though it's not really great for actually, one moment here. Not really great for viewing, because obviously having an exact view of the monitor is better than from a phone. But that is all right. Here we go. All right. So the TikTok is now live. So we're seeing BTC here start to kind of drop off a little bit. Let's do Ethereum. Let's keep Ethereum on the hour, but I'm just going to keep Ethereum right here because it's still a pretty important pair. Let's just move the TikTok camera a little bit so it's easier to see overall for the people who are viewing. Kind of like so. What I might actually do is move this like so. There we go. Hello, X Clocked Man and GN and GA Cub 420. What's up? Currently looking at Link paired with US Tether, as well as BTC or Bitcoin. And we're also on the YouTube live here, so we do have that as well. I think what we're going to do is put Link down here, and then we can just use that half screen like so. So we see a nice ascending ascending trend line. I think we can add a potential another one as well, just looking at a more ascending zone. Potentially, I was mainly looking at the descending zone that broke, pulled back very nicely. BTC does look like it is breaking out now. Let's look at the other pairs we have here. Yeah, definitely looks like it's pushing to the upside. Link might not be able to get that strong pullback we're looking for. We will assess the situation. But BTC definitely looks like it's gaining a little bit more buy volume here. Let's see how big Ethereum's gap is. If it does break out, 1.14, that's not really significant. I don't really, unless you're risking 0.5% makes sense, but I think I'm gonna just stick on the sidelines and see right now, because BTC could make a small move, which would probably move some of these alts here, depending on the severity and the strength of the move from Bitcoin. But patience is the game for sure. And yes, looking back, definitely could have entered at these lows here. First injection, second injection, and then once you saw this bullish candle right here, that for me could have entered right there, stop loss below that zone. I was definitely initially waiting for the break of this and then a retest of this previous resistance as a new level of support. And also, BTC was not yet broken this zone, so we still could have curled down and then dropped below the support. Definitely Link would have seen a pullback and then a drop below the support there, basically taking me out of the trade for a loss. So I was being cautious. I was waiting for confluence of BTC breaking to the upside, and I was hoping for Link to come back here and test the previous resistance as a new level of support, while BTC was potentially pulling back to validate this resistance. But Link definitely pushed higher than anticipated. But we are waiting for the highest confirmation setup. And at this point in time, you know, our risk reward is a little bit skewed. This is the 1 hour chart of Link. And looking at our next resistance zone, we can see that's kind of the next area right there. We could increase it, but on the 4 hour chart, this is a little bit more clear. Very, very valid candle closures with the bodies of the candles right at these zones. So we could extend and push up further, but I think that's where we will potentially consolidate if we are going to test this resistance. And then we got this previous level right here where we can see, let's get our arrow, previous level of resistance, previous level of resistance, new level of support. You can see that right there. And once we broke above this, like so, we got validation of yes, there are bulls within the market, and that's exactly what we got, with lots of bullish volume. And then unfortunately didn't get that pullback that we were waiting for, potentially to this zone, at least to this zone, but got a strong move up. We could still see it potentially. You know, BTC is slowly climbing up here, but could hit a little resistance. We still got 2 minutes on this current candle before it closes, and we are seeing decreasing buy volume come into the market, as we can see within the buy volume for BTC, like so. The buy volume for BTC is decreasing, as we can see within the 3 candles. This could indicate that there is a lack of buy volume coming into the market, and could see a little pullback here, validating the previous resistance as a new level of support. And then if that happens, hopefully in the same time frame, we are seeing Link drop too, because of the market sentiment shifting. And then once we hold and then gain back that buy volume, validating the support, and then seeing the buyers hold the price there, then hopefully Link will be around the similar situation, and then we'll able to enter at these lows or somewhere where it's a little bit better of a price than where we currently are, and then having a risk reward where this is the first level to take profit, as we can see within the 1 hour chart. So we'll see how it goes. If we don't get our entry, then we don't get our entry. We were waiting for a potential pullback where we have a set of criteria and we're looking to fulfill that, and this price was too high. We were looking for a price further down, did not hit our criteria, so we did not enter. Unfortunately, you will see some trades that look all right and they turn out to be a good entry, and you sometimes will miss them because an entry here definitely would have been ideal. I was looking for BTC for the confirmation of a break, which you obviously have right now, but we'll still maybe be able to get something here. I think Ethereum is a potential opportunity. We see a consolidation after a move to the downside, so we got a bearish trend, and then we got a consolidation, and then now we could see a little bullish trend. We do have quite a bit of resistance here in front of us. Looking at the larger time frames, we have around the 226 to 226 range is where we currently have a resistance. So if we see a bullish move towards the upside here and get a pullback validating the previous resistance we can see right here as a new level of support, then we'll be able to confirm that yes, this is now a higher high and this is a higher low, and then the move will not be crazy significant in terms of where we're going to go for our next first resistance zone, which is around 1.25%. But let's say you're risking 0.25% or 0.5%, then that is not so bad. Where in this case we would be risking maybe 0.5%, which would be a pretty good risk reward. So looking at risk reward is much more important, because you're going to try to replicate every single trade, not replicate exactly, but have a consistent system that allows you to risk similar amounts of money no matter what you're trading, which takes quite simply a little bit of math. It's not very hard. You just need to understand how to do it, and that is what we teach within our trading course as well. So we're seeing a pullback here from BTC, which is good. Looking for that nice Link entry at 445, somewhere around there. XRP coming to our resistance. Ethereum pushing up, making a higher high on the 5-minute, and then now pulling back, forming a higher low. We do see a decrease. Oh, can't really see that. There we go. We're seeing a decrease in buy volume. So then if we see a big candle right here, that could indicate that the bulls now come in and gain back confidence after this consolidation phase. But for Bitcoin right now, we're just seeing a nice little pullback, which is good, which means we could be seeing a pullback on Link, which is what we are ideally looking for. So then we get a nice little entry at the lows here. So we are wanting to see Link fall a little bit here, back closer to our previous level resistance, which will hopefully be our new level of support. So not going to chase Not going to FOMO, going to be real patient. If we don't get that entry, that is very all right. We always will have opportunities in the markets. It's a opportunity generating machine, and if you don't get any trades today, you will always find trades the next day. Especially if you're able to trade on a smaller time frame, like the 5 minute, like it is pretty easy to find trades, but you have to be patient because it is easy to find potential trades. It's a lot harder to find trades that are actually valid enough to position and enter in. So BNB is holding our ascending trend line well, which is good to see. I'm just going to move that guy up there. So it's at the candle body, type A, type B. So it's at the wick on this one, and then we see a type C, which isn't ideal. We see a type A, just the wick, and then you see candle closures right there. And then now you're seeing an interaction from BNB yet again, giving us validation of this ascending trend line being a valid zone for the price to be holding above. XRP has been squeezing closer to our apex, where we have a horizontal zone of support, we have a descending resistance holding lower highs, and we also have a descending support that initially held lower highs. We broke out, and then now we're testing as a support. So we got quite a bit of support here as the price is making lower lows and lower highs. We've seen a wick come to the downside, and we'll see if we're going to kind of double bottom here and then push above the descending trend line, forming a market structure higher high. If we're able to pull back and retest the market structure resistance as a new support, as well as breaking the descending trend line, and if we get more buy volume coming in while the push is occurring, and then the pullback gets less volume, seeing that volume accumulation, if we see the signals that we're looking for a particular descending trend line breakout, seeing the three things we're looking for: market structure, price action, and VSA, we will potentially look to enter here. It's not going to be a crazy move, but it could be a 2.7 maybe percent move to our previous high. And then I personally think that this resistance will get tested yet again, which is an additional maybe 2%, which is pretty good in terms of the risk reward that we are looking at, because this is the recent low. We are entering at the lower end of the new support, previous resistance. Our risk is going to be around 1.4, maybe 1.5. So in terms of risk reward, it's definitely worth it in my opinion. So XRP is an option. If we do break, we got a little bit of time before that happens. Link is an option. I am looking at Cardano here, which is, if we look, forming a descending trend line. Pretty clear, well-defined. We can put a projection, and we do have a continuation pattern of a consolidation sideways, and we do see it break out here slightly. We are underneath this resistance, so like always, we do want to remain patient and not enter because we are right underneath a resistance, but we are forming a nice continuation pattern on Cardano on the 5 minute, but I do think the main entries we are looking to try to get are going to be Link and potentially XRP if we do get the market structure to shift here for us a little bit, which I'm talking about this zone right here. If we break it, hold above this zone, and then come back and retest the previous resistance as we've seen as a new level of support, also new level of support here. Also, we can see key zone within the chart. So if we're able to break a market structure higher high, we've broken the descending trend line for one. For two, we've broken the market structure high, which we've tested and rejected off twice before. And then all we're looking for is that volume to confirm us. And then we are looking for a possible entry here. Stop loss below the previous low. First take profit at the high if we're able to get that second high. And then we got a solid risk reward on our hands. And if you can't imagine yet, this is the type of trade we are looking for. First take profit, 2.7 risk reward. And then second take profit is a 4.5. So we'll see if it's able to give it to us. If it is, then we'll definitely be looking to potentially enter. And we'll stay patient if it doesn't come to us. But for now, We are just looking at Link because it broke to the upside. We can see past this resistance zone. And then looking at Link on the 5-minute, we can see it was a pretty key zone, rejecting the resistance 3 times, 1, 2, 3, and then it dropped down below. And then we held a descending trend line. And then we hit it yet again. So we have 4 touches of the zone, making it a defendable zone. We pushed up, we pulled back, validating this zone twice. And then we pushed to the upside, breaking our previous resistance here. And we were looking for a pullback to that zone, kind of like so, and then a strong push. So in an ideal world, the current consolidation that we're currently seeing right here maybe would have been a little bit lower, and then I would have been able to enter. But where I put the body, I initially put it on the 5-minute where the bodies of the candles are initially. And that's where I normally put them. But then it kept on going, didn't see a pullback, so then I was like, okay, let's put it at kind of the highs where I could see a pullback. You could put it at the very high of the wick there, but even then you're not getting that to confirm it really. So the theoretical low of, or where I initially put it, was here. So if we see BTC pullback and Link pullback to these areas, I definitely will be potentially looking to enter on Link. The volume looks strong. We'll see what this candle closes to. If it closes bearish, there's a pretty significant rejection, and that might be a little less optimal. But we'll see how it gets there, how much volume we get on the way down, and all that stuff. So I will keep everyone posted and updated. So Brandon Hartshorn said, what charting software are you using? I use a charting software called TradingView. It is free to use, online web browser. You can find it there. I personally use the paid version because obviously I use it every single day and it's my job, so it makes sense to pay for the full version. But it's by far the best charting software I have ever used in my entire life as a trader, and I'm not trying to sell them or anything, but it's genuinely a really, really good software system to use. Ace said hello. Hello, Ace. And that's about it. We're not seeing a whole lot of interest here on the crypto market. XRP is breaking out a little bit, looking like it's doing better. Ethereum is pulling back, testing its previous resistance, we can see, as a new level of support. But we do have this zone right here. I'm not directly looking to enter just yet, but we'll see how the market reacts. We'll see if it's gaining more buy volume, if BTC is going to pull back. That's going to be a pretty significant player. Hello, Husky. You say, not really much in the markets right now. I'm just filming because, A, if anyone has any questions, definitely put them in the comments below. But if anything does happen, obviously I'll be more excited. We're looking for a pullback here on Link to come back and retest the previous resistance as a new level of support. Once that is complete, and then we see that buy volume come back in to push that price higher, and once we see that confirmation of buyers, then we will look to enter. But until that happens, we can't enter now because the risk reward would not be correct. It would not be right, and we would not be satisfied with that entry. So we're patiently waiting for a better entry to pull back down here. We're not seeing a tremendous amount of sell pressure bring the price back down, which is great. So we are seeing the buyers still, I think, in the market looking to potentially enter when the price does get to a lower point. Probably only going to be risking 1.5, and then we got our first level to take profit at the high there. We did close green, which is good, with significant buy volume pushing the price up. And we just recently got the 1 hour to close at that level, so we got our new 1 hour candle here. And we got a few other pairs we could be looking at. 4 opportunities here. Ethereum, definitely not really. XRP, not really. BNB is looking pretty good for a short if it does break that ascending trend line. I think I might have to enter at this low here. Instead of being more patient, at least for a little bit of a entry. It's not really giving me a pullback here, but we are going to, like I said, stay very patient. Got a rejection here from XRP as well. I think this is best shown on the 1 hour chart. Let's just put this a little bit over like so. This is definitely best shown on the 1 hour chart. We see rejections. If we get our arrow anchor point right here, we see first rejection, second rejection right here with just the wick, and this could be the third rejection that we are seeing to push the price to potentially even a low right here, or even a lower low than we saw here, or at least to test this low right here, maybe, or at least the bodies of the candles there, which is still not a terrible move. Okay, that's not so much, like 1%, but if we're able to get 1.72%, obviously a little better. And then on the 5-minute chart, we're at that zone right now, but it does look like we are getting some bullish volume coming into the market here again. We'll see what this next candle, but looking at Link, we see that was a strong bullish candle coming in. Contemplating entering now because that was a strong bullish engulfing candle. We can see a zone of support right here. We can see we held that zone initially before we pushed up. Now we're not really at our previous resistance, which obviously is not ideal. Yes, this is trading. And Adriano. So we're not at currently our resistance where we're wanting to be at. So that's not ideal. But we do see the buy pressure come in, and we are gaining more buy volume within the market. So we do see that there is demand coming in. It's just a matter of, should we enter here? And then our risk would be just below this zone, and then that would make sense of it. And then our next take profit would have to be at this next resistance area. Probably not higher, because as we can see, we got the two zones right there. So could be a potential here. I really like the fact that we got so much buy volume come into the market. When we did hit that zone, we see wicks just at those zones. They're below the area, so we see that there are buyers pushing the price up. We see way more buy volume coming in compared to the sell pressure. I think I'm going to wait. If we're able to get an entry, maybe at a pullback with not a lot of sell volume here, like a no supply, so there's a lack of supply, and then we're able to get something like this, the risk of maybe 1, that would be good. Because BTC right now is not seeing a tremendous amount of buy volume coming in, testing its resistance point. So it could be a double bottom and then coming back into its zone of confluence, where we have the ascending zone and the descending zone. So that could be a play here. Definitely want to take that into consideration. On the 4 hour, BTC definitely looks like it's holding its level of support pretty well. And we could be seeing a little pullback within the bearish move, making a lower high. So that is the thought process behind our trade. And we are looking for a pullback here. Ideally, that would be in the best case scenario. And then we get double confirmation, because we already have one bearish engulfing candle, which shows significant strength from the buy side. Lots of bullish strength shown here from this bullish engulfing candle. Now we're seeing the next candle push up right here. I'd like to see the price come back, and then we see one more push to the upside. Probably entrance is right here. Stop loss below the previous low right here. 1.23 for the risk. 2 risk reward. 3 risk reward, close to our next resistance point right here. I'm pretty happy with that 1 exhaust, like one push to the upside after the completion of the exhaustion, which is this right here on the 5 minute. So we'll see how BTC is looking like it's able to form a higher high right there. Broke the previous market high, which is good. Not seeing a whole lot of volume at all actually come in on this candle, so we do have to be cautious because we have not closed yet on this candle. So we do have to be cautious. But the price action did make a higher high here, so that is good for the bulls. So we got 7 seconds left until this 5 minute closes here. The 1 hour looks all right. Still got obviously 45 minutes, so it's a pretty fresh candle here. First reaction is a little bit of sell pressure from BTC. The previous two candles we saw got less demand as we pushed further. This demand candle is actually, if we did see a little bit of a pullback at the last couple seconds there, that would have been a no demand candle because it would have been really good if we saw the candle close at that zone, but we're seeing a lack of demand coming in when we should be seeing demand come in when we're trying to break through these zones. So that's not amazing, but it's not too surprising looking where we are. Previous level of support. Massive rejection, and we're seeing the price come up to the area of resistance right now. So not too surprising that this is going to be a level of resistance. I think I'm just going to draw in a trend line like here. Guys, if we do get a break back down, definitely we are going to be looking to enter short. So that top's looking promising. Let's just zoom out. And we don't need this trend line all the way down here. We just put it right up here. Then we'll put it at the body of the candle. Incorporate that zone as well. Let's just see how that looks. That's looking all right. I'm happy with that. And then go back to Link, see how that's doing. BTC is not doing too bad. Alright, so I don't have any entries. I'm going to take a piss real quick. I will be right back. And then let's just see where the price is. I'd like to see the price pull back and get one more confirmation that there's buyers within the market. That would be good. The VSA is on point. Market structure is on point. Little late for price action breaking this zone, but we've broken the resistance right here. And now we're holding the support. We've held 1, 2, 3. So then if we're able to hold that one last time, that for me is enough to get a nice entry at the lows right there. So we'll see how it goes. I'm first going to take a piss right now. Okay, well, let's see where we are here. Not bad. Seeing the price hold that zone, which is good. Don't want to get too eager and jump right in because we are basically right nearing a level of resistance here on BTC. Don't really see a trend line here. Be nice to see a trend line connecting the lower highs at this point, but I don't want to put one in because it's very early to tell where it's going to go, which might not be the best. So still seeing the price slowly creep up here. XRP still seeing decreasing volume come in, so we could see that pullback we're looking for. One last time, like I said, risking probably around 1, maybe 0.2, 1.1-ish%, depending on where our entry is, somewhere around there. And then 3 risk reward seems pretty attainable. Let's just put it right down to 3. Definitely seems pretty attainable. I don't want to be entering here, but if it does come back one last time to get me a nice entry, if it does double top and then come back down here, and if it's able to hold this zone, I'm definitely looking to enter at these zones here, put a stop loss below the previous low. Good risk reward for us to be hitting. So I'll be patient, and if it gives me a good opportunity, then I'll take it, but at this point, we're just remaining very patient and waiting for the price to come to us. Hello, Swag Master 690. Is this trading? No, it's cartoons. So what we're currently looking at right now is Link paired with US Tether. Well, it seems like we may not get that pullback we're looking for here. None of the other pairs are really gaining any sort of traction. Like we said, like Link, still pushing up. Wow. This would be a potential short trade on Ethereum here. We have Ethereum right here. Push, exhaustion phase. You see 1, 2, 3, and this is the fourth touch. We see decent sell volume, rejection candle right at the zone. The idea is see a double injection of sell pressure coming into the market. Seeing a sell off here on Link a little bit. But it's got decent risk reward. I feel it's got potential. We see it's a resist, or it was initially a support. Let's just put it here like so. Initially it was a support, and then it turned into a resistance, support, resistance. So it's a pretty dependable area. If we get a pullback up again to that zone, and then we get another bearish injection on Ethereum, that for me would be even more validation that we could be looking for a short opportunity here. Potentially, because we are looking for more shorts and longs. Link was a really good potential entry here. Unfortunately, we didn't get entered because we got one more pullback that we wanted, and I guess in hindsight we were looking a little bit. It looked a little bit greedy for us to want to get one more validation of the level of support, but it's how it goes. It's up basically 2.5% from where we initially were thinking about entering. Ideally, we were going to be entering a little bit lower at this zone, but after we held the price twice, we were looking for that third validation and the injection of buy pressure after this strong buy volume and bullish engulfing candle came in. And theoretically, that was enough confirmation. We were waiting for one more small drop, maybe a no supply. That would have been, for me, perfect. If we got a no supply and then another candle that was bullish, then 100% that would have been really, really nice to see. But we didn't really get any pullback after that bullish engulfing candle. So I was looking for that, and then we just closed green, 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 and then I never got in. But we'll see how the shorts go here compared to the longs, because mainly we are looking for shorts in the market. Yes, we do see we made a nice little bullish push here, especially with Link, because it's already in a position to go up because it's in a bullish trend already. But BZT has hit its resistance. We're seeing decreasing buy volume and lack of buy volume on the way up. And then on the hour chart, we can see we're right at a key zone where we've tested it as a resistance and support and resistance. And we have a major rejection off this zone where sellers pushed it right back down after the bulls tried to bring it back up, with lots of activity within this range closing below it, indicating there's lots of sell pressure at that area. And then we push down, we're pulling back, taking a market breath, and now it could potentially make another push to the downside. We do have an ascending trend line here, and if that breaks, that will give us more of a confirmation of a shift in trend, and then we'll be looking for shorts. But in the meantime, we do see on the small time frame, we have made a market structure higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. But on the hour chart, obviously we are in a major downtrend, and we're just looking for the price to make a lower high, because right now we're seeing that this is a high, this is a low, this is a lower high, this is a lower low, this is a lower high than this in terms of the candle body closing, and then we see a lower low, and this could be still a lower low from these lows here. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for the lower high, because these are lower highs, this one, and then we're looking for that lower high. So then in time, we're able to draw a descending trend line connecting the lower highs, squeezing the price towards this green demand area. So that's the hope. We'll see what happens here. Ethereum is gaining that second burst of buy volume. We'll see where it goes. We are not entered yet. We're just being very patient. Link would have been a really good trade. Unfortunately, that didn't play out. Well, the trade played out perfectly. We just weren't in it. We were being a little bit greedy there. Write it in my journal. It's also really good to write journals of what you wanted to enter but didn't. Like exactly today. Look back at the video. I was looking at an entry. I was looking at potential, a no supply, a small pullback here, validating this zone one more time. A no supply would mean that there is a very limited amount of supply that is left within the market. We did get a potential no supply on this candle here, but the next candle closed bearish, so that did not confirm it. This guy right here, because look at the limited amount. We can see a little bit more clear right here. Look at the limited amount of sell pressure within the market right here. And then we see that candle push to the downside, and that could have been a potential level of support, but then the next candle did break further down. So then that is not a no supply, because we would have had to get a bullish candle above in order for us to confirm it. And then this setup right here, this bullish candle was great because we saw significantly more buy volume and sell volume compared to really any other time within the consolidation. But we did not see a no supply before that. And then what we were looking for was a no supply after this bullish engulfing candle. Once we got that, we saw the increase in transactions. We saw the increase in pressure. We're like, okay, that's great to see that there is there's a bullish engulfing candle with significant transactions taking place within that same time frame, showing that there's demand in the market. And what we were looking for was a small pullback of a no supply, kind of like we saw here. This would have been perfect if it was that candle right there. Once that came in, and then that next candle, if it closed green, if it doesn't matter if it looks like a doji, or as long as it's closing green, we are looking to enter. And we didn't see that, so unfortunately we did not enter. Our criteria was not met. We were thinking about putting a feeler right here at the close of this trade, because we did see a wick to the downside, but we did not do that. Our Ethereum idea looks to be taken out. We'll see how it does. If this candle does close above that zone, we might just not go through with that idea. We could change this a little bit, so it's like so. And then we're going to put a projection like so. So we'll see where this candle closes. If it's able to close at a zone that we're happy with on this candle, then we will potentially look to enter. But at this point in time, we're not really seeing anything. BTC is still making higher highs with decent buy volume coming in. driving into the resistance area, understandingly knowing that we are driving into the resistance area. Not trying to perfectly time the market here, so we don't need to, but damn, that would have been a really, really good entry. I would have really enjoyed to have that right there. But nonetheless, we are still looking. That's okay. I think this is out of the books. We're not even going to put that there right at this point. XRP is on the 1 hour. We can see, I think, has broken that zone. So definitely something to consider. We see increasing buy volume coming into the market. We still got a minute and a little bit left. Let's just refine this a little bit more. So we got a horizontal zone. Let's just put it right here. And then talking about XRP right here, we already see that 1 hour chart look pretty damn good. BTC is really breaking above, seeing decent buy volume here. So XRP might be the entry for us. We got an ascending trend line, not extremely confirmed, but we see more buy volume come in. Let's just switch this to XRP. Wow, Chainlink is really, really pressing on here. Wow. So we'll see how this candle closes because we haven't seen a candle closure above this area. So if we're able to close a little bit more bullish, don't want to chase here, but fuck, look at Chainlink, man. It's booming. Okay, so Ethereum popped over it. XRP is doing well. Let's just see if we can get an entry here on XRP. Okay, let's see. Not entering yet. Just seeing. We're not really risking much here because we're risking maybe 0.5%, if that. And then we're going to go up to these highs. So, okay, I'm entering. 4, 8. Okay. We are in here. So 4 hour bounced off. That's our level of support right here. Let's look at the 1 hour here, breaking above that zone, strong. Strong bullish volume coming in. So that means that we could potentially, coming to the 4 hour, retest these highs here, which are going to be these highs right here, which is going to be not a crazy move, 1.5%, but looking at where we currently are for XRP, I think it's better with the 1H here. And the low is just below where this wick is right now. Still 17 minutes until this candle closes, so we don't have full candle closure. Let's move this a little bit over so we're able to see. There we go. So once we get more confirmation, well, A, this candle closure, B, 5-minute candle to close above the zone. That'd be more of a confirmation. But once we get that, we're definitely looking to, just gonna move this over like so. And on the hour chart, still looks the same. So got a feeler position in, and then BTC looks like it's strong, definitely counter trend trading a little bit here. And then I'm going to post on the Discord here. So got the feeler in here. We just wanted to close, and then we're wanting to see it come back, validate it, and then we're looking to enter more. But right now, we just got a position in. Link is absolutely blowing through resistances right now, so there's lots of pressure pushing the alts up here. BTC is breaking towards the upside, holding on the 5-minute chart in 25 seconds. So that's good. On the hour chart, we still got 15 minutes, but we do see significant bullish volume coming into the market for that pair. Okay, and then we're wanting to see a nice pullback here, validate this minor level of resistance, turn into new support, ideally. So on the 4-hour, I definitely could see the price here push up to these zones, because we don't really see a descending trend line here. We're at a mid-range zone. We bounced off. We don't really see a descending trend line. Oh, definitely not on 1 hour. So looking, you know, we don't, like, even if we're gonna put it here, not really. If we put it to the candle body, I guess we're right at the zone, but you know, this is the best trend line that I can draw as of right now, where we got 2 wicks at that zone. So in my personal opinion, we do got space if we break our mid-range zone here to push up to our 885-ish range. And looking at the 5-minute on this, you can see, yep, it is pretty well respected. Let's get our, I put that way too low. There we go. Let me put that trend line a little bit more precise. We right at the zone right there. So we definitely got a little bit of room here that the price could push up, and that's why we got our little feeler entry here. We see that there's significant buy pressure coming into XRP. Oh man, Link looks so good. I'm going to put Link right here and put XRP here because that's the current trade that we are in. Don't know if it's going to go all the way up there, so I'm going to keep it pretty tight here. Oh, I have the wrong entry, that's why. 2, 3, 4, 6, 5. And then our stop loss, 0.47, 0.47. Okay, cool. So we're looking for that nice no supply pullback. Got 11 minutes on the hour candle here. Just got a feeler trade in here. 0.5% risk, not a whole lot. And then we will notify our students in one moment here. Just got to put it in the sheet. It's the third, and it's 2. Oops. Okay. So we got a candle to close. We see that the pullback held our support, which is good, with very, very little amount of sell pressure coming into the market. If we do get a bullish candle to close now, pushing the price back up, that will indicate that that is a no supply candle. If we do get a bullish candle in the next one, signifying that there's a lack of supply and there's stronger demand, that's potentially going to push the price higher up here. So risk reward of 2 to 1, 3 to 1, which is right here, and then 4 to 1 is right here. I do not know if we're going to make it all the way up to that top. That would be a pretty significant move, in my personal opinion. We still only have a feeler position in, so we're looking to add more. If it's able to hold this zone, very important. We need it to hold this zone. We see the 1 hour time frame still has 8 minutes to go, and I want to see Bitcoin break above our zone here that we've given it. We could make it a little bit lower of a zone to kind of see if it broke, because it kind of did. We see the high here, we see a high here, it did break. We're just going to see on the 5 minute if it's able to hold. We see more buy volume coming in, significantly more buy volume coming in than sell volume, although that was a bearish engulfing candle. We do see the volume is more towards the buy side. So we'll see how it goes. We got a stop loss. I'm now going to tell people in the Discord, first putting it on the 1 hour chart. Because it was at a key zone right here where there was, oh, I'll put it, you know what I'll do? I'll put it right here. And then I will put this on the 5 minute. Okay, BTC is pulling back here. We'll see how it's going to go. And I'm going to post this on the link here. Okay, well that would be a, when this closes, if it when in 4 seconds, that is a no supply candle. So there's a lack of supply in the market on XRP on the 5-minute chart. That's what it's indicating to me. So could see some bullish volume here. We did hold that area, which is great. So now we'll just see, are we gonna keep on moving to the upside, or are we gonna get halted here? I think we could put it below this low because we do see a nice ascending zone here. So now that we've held that low, it's not looking bad. Candle closed green, that's good to see. Closed above the zone, good to see. Price action's good. Market structure has not made a clear market structure higher high, but on the 5-minute it has, and it's come back and retested and held as a higher low. That's good to see. So we might see a strong push to the upside. Might want to capture some profits, and then if we do get a pullback here, we then could be looking to hold while the price nears our entry again, and then we get an extension. So we'll be patient with the entry here for the full position, but right now I'm personally happy with the amount that we have right now. We got a no supply on the previous 10 minutes ago, and then we got the next candle is bullish, so then we got a confirmation that that's a no supply on our previous resistance, which is now our new support. So pretty happy with that pullback. We'll see how BTC reacts. We're seeing more buy volume come in than sell volume, which is really good to see. But not a tremendous amount of buy volume coming into XRP right now. Link went ballistic. Don't have an entry on that, so we can close that. Ethereum is still at those highs there. Talked about a potential resistance right there. And I think we can maybe redraw this area like so. Think that, if I think that candle wick right there. And then I think that's the zone that we're going to be using. And then like always, we will put, oh, I'm going to put that a little bit more precise right there. So we got our resistance right there. Not really seeing a tremendous amount of buy volume come in, but we are holding support, which is nice. So we're just waiting, trying to get more buy volume to come into the market. You see on the hour chart, we did close the hour chart above our zone, and this could be a small little pullback here. And good to see that the hour chart did close at the high here, breaking our market structure high, which was this right here. So we made a higher high. We could be holding a higher low here, and then coming to potentially our zone of resistance. We'll see how it goes, but for now, that's currently the potential outlook for the market. And I told everyone on crypto market update or crypto markets, which is fine. So got another candle to close. We'll see if BTC will be able to gain that buy volume to push the price back up to get that second injection of volume. So going to look at the questions we got from TikTok here since the start of Sin. Thank you very much. Sent me Panda. What is this? This is cryptocurrencies. Anyone who saw... Yeah, this is XRP compared with US Tether. Oh, Ripple. Yeah, XRP. Crypto, yes. So we're long right now on just a feeler entry. We put a small position in here, and we initially held the zone. I'd like to see a bearish engulfing candle or more indications of buy pressure pushing the price up before we look to enter more. Got a pretty tight stop loss here. Ideally, we were looking for a pretty decent move up to our next key zone of resistance, but for now, we're just seeing if this support, which is a previous resistance back in the historic time frames, is able to hold as a nice new level of support. So we're on the 5-minute chart. We see more buy volume than sell volume, indicating volume accumulation in the market. The 1-hour candle closed above our descending trend line, which is this red guy right here, and retested, pushed above, and VSA looks good, market structure looks good, price action looks good. Overall, it's not looking too bad. It's just a matter of if Bitcoin will be able to sustain the higher low. If it is, then we could be adding a little bit more, but if it does dump pretty quickly here, we'll just take our small loss because it's a feeler and then move on to another opportunity that we're able to identify for a short. Because at that point, if it goes below this zone, I think we're entering a little bit more of a short territory. But like I said, for these zones, we don't want to get absolutely wrecked. We want to be very, very patient within the mid-range zone, within the consolidation, because it's very, very easy to get wrecked when the market is in a tight consolidation, when it's just bouncing off zone to zone, not really in a clear trend. It's really easy to get wrecked. So got to be cautious, got to be very, very patient. We're in a bit of a move to the upside now. I think I'm trying to assess if it is going to make another move. I think it possibly is going to make another move to the upside here, testing this descending trend line again for a resistance, and that little move could potentially get our trade up to a risk reward of maybe 2 or 3 to 1. So that was the idea entering this trade. We don't have a full position yet. We're looking for a confirmation of bulls. We see the confirmation, the volume initially on the push up. We're just looking for a confirmation on the pullback that we get the bulls to enter back into the market. And we have our stop loss just below the previous low. If the market is going to go below the previous low, we are wanting to get out of the market. And this is the 1-hour time frame. Candle closed above the zone. Bullish, not by much. But the 5-minute is kind of what we're looking at here for the candle closure above the high. And we just see a lot of areas right here that we're currently holding above. So it's looking better. We see a lot more buy volume within kind of the consolidation than sell volume. We see significant buy volume here. And then on the trend up, we're seeing buy volume. And then on the pullback, not a lot of sell volume and then more buy volume. We're seeing quite a bit of no supply candles, although this candle obviously does show a significant amount of supply coming into the market. But we will see how it goes. Don't have a whole lot of exposure because, like I said, we have to be cautious. We have to reduce risk when we are trading in these zones that aren't really, let's say, ideal, because it's not at a very tight squeeze where we don't have a whole lot of confluence. We can still play around with the volatility and make some good trades, 100%, get some good risk rewards, but we gotta, in my opinion, reduce the risk a little bit, trade a little bit less money, and be a little bit more cautious, be a little bit more patient. Thanks. Where did you enter? 23465 is my entry. So 23465 is my entry. And I got a stop loss at 0.23335. So that's my current trade. I entered when the bullish, the 5-minute candle here popped up with significant buy volume, much more significant compared to really any of the volume that we've seen in the past morning, really, other than the one very, very significant bullish candle. So we're seeing a lot more buy volume than sell volume, indicating bullish accumulation. And then also we popped up above a previous market structure high. We see previous market structure high, held that high, and then we broke above that high and formed a higher high. And this potentially is going to be a higher low, and then we're going to break out into a higher high here. So that is the speculation that we're currently going to have right here, and we broke the descending trend line. So there's a lot of things that are coming together on multiple time frames that are giving me indications of this potentially moving towards the upside here. So we'll see how it goes. Just got a small position right here. If we see more buy volume come in, we might want to enter a little bit more here. Got 3 minutes left until this 5-minute candle closes. See a nice bullish from this zone here, like so. Yeah, Link went on a roar. I was looking at it like right here. I was thinking, man, it could be a good opportunity. But BTC has not broken out. And then by the time it broken out, I was looking for an entry at this pullback. Didn't get it. Looking for one more entry at this pullback. Didn't get it. Being greedy or being unlucky? I think it was a little bit more greedy. So definitely I'll look back at this. Really, really, really look at it. Replay it. Take the trades. Go over them. That's how you get better, is by looking back at what you did wrong, analyzing it, and say, why did I not enter there, or why did I enter there, and then going through the motions of it, of you properly completing whatever you wanted to complete. So we see some hesitation here, which is not bad. I think that's a good thing because we're getting held up from the bulls. Artsy, Fartsy, AKH. Put in the comments, do you always trade live? First time here. Not always. I've been doing, or I guess the team at Performante, but personally me, I've been doing YouTube, or sorry, not YouTube, but TikTok lives for 2 weeks now, maybe, something like that. Maybe 3 weeks. And then we trade live and we just upload it onto YouTube as well. But I record my monitor, so like you don't see like the shit quality of what you see on TikTok. If you're actually interested in trading and actually want to follow along, I'd suggest going on YouTube, because we are actually going live on YouTube and TikTok at the exact same time. So basically going to be going on live almost every day or every weekday. On weekends we don't really trade as much, but on the weekday we are going to go live more often, basically almost every single day. Because A, if people want to ask us questions, and B, just kind of legitimizes the knowledge we have and making sure that, you know, we're not just people who say we trade, and we trade every single day in the markets and you see all of our trades and it's very transparent. So which one is this? This is XRP USDT. Perfect. Yeah, and it's on the Binance exchange. There's multiple. And do you only do cryptos? Yep. So I mainly trade in the crypto market. I used to trade in the stock market. I used to trade two kind of instruments. One was just a single stock. I used to trade TVIX, which is an inverse leveraged instrument to capture volatility from the S&P moving up and down. And then I also traded biotech stocks with the phase 2 and phase 3 clinical trials, using them as fundamental catalysts, but mainly using technical analysis and volume spread analysis to understand the entries and to assess the potential of the trade. And then I moved to Forex, traded that for a little while, and then decided that cryptocurrencies have come to a point where you can trade them easily. You can trade Binance, you can long, short, many pairs, you can margin, you can leverage. It's a great way to basically trade the markets with low fees, good liquidity. Definitely a lot better than what it used to be. So, oh cool, I will tune in on YouTube as well. Do you not do biotech anymore? No, I do not do biotech anymore. I have a lot at Neo. Nice from YouTube, Big Roo. Yeah, Neo's pretty good. 1 hour Neo USD. You're probably in as well. Nice one. But yeah, they're pretty good. They're huge in China, that's for sure. But currently, just in XRP. So I mainly look at the chart to view my analysis, to make my decisions. I don't really look at the white paper or fundamental catalysts or news. Usually price will give me all the things I need. Well, price and volume will give me everything I need to know in terms of what to look for me anyways. Obviously everyone is different, but just the way I trade, just the way I navigate the markets. So we're seeing the price hold for BTC, which is good to see. We see buy volumes coming in here, which is good. We're holding our level of support, also good. So you just mentioned someone for biotech. No, I used to trade biotech companies. So I used to trade phase 2 and phase 3 catalyst, life science, biotech companies. So then phase 2 and phase 3 are going to be the actual efficacy of the drug. Phase 1 is just going to test if the drug is healthy for human beings or whatever you're testing. And then phase 2 and phase 3 are going to actually test the efficacy of the drug to see if it's going to work, if it's going to help the targeted disease that you're trying to help or trying to aid. So they are going to be a significant determiner of the success of the company, which will create a major catalyst in the sentiment of the shareholder. Because if you know that the drug is, pushed significantly along the pipeline, you're then going to have a brighter outlook on the future of it, and then obviously you're going to look more bullish. You might buy more shares, you might hold on to them, and having a catalyst while you trade will give you a little bit more of an edge. So that's what I did for a little bit. And then FX market, you don't really have an edge trading market news. You can just basically be aware of it and try not to trade when there is big like CPI or interest rates or some big news coming into the market. Then you might not want to be trading. Because there's going to be a lot of volatility coming into the market. Biopharma Catalyst from Artsy Fartsy. Yeah, it's a good way to find good, solid momentum movements in stocks. You can look for other stuff, like, for example, like commodities from mining. If you are in the mining sector, you could look for companies that have struck some mineral that is deemed valuable and it is an asset to the company, and then that obviously is a catalyst as well. But I just chose biopharma and biotech because there's just more of them. There's more opportunity, in my opinion, usually more liquidity, but these stocks can go up 50, 100% in a matter of a week or something. So pretty crazy, but definitely not in that anymore, just trading in the crypto market. So we're getting some buy pressure here with a bullish candle with some buy pressure attached to it. You can see right here, more buy pressure than sell pressure within the consolidation with a wick to the downside, which is good to see. So we'll see if this closes. If this closes bullish, might add a little bit more to our entry here. But like always, we want to see how it's going to close. Looks like a really nice bullish flag here on BTC. If we do start breaking, the momentum definitely looks like it could crack that little resistance and push to the upside. So that's possible. We're seeing not a lot of supply on the 1 hour, which is good. So we'll see how this 5-minute candle closes on BTC. But, or I guess this hour candle, we got a little bit of time here. But for now, XRP looks pretty good. We see strong buy volume coming in when we are getting the pushes to the upside, which is great, indicating and showing that there's buyers within the market wanting to purchase the assets. So that is great to see. But we are not yet wanting to enter a full position yet, because BTC, once we see that momentum kick in for Bitcoin, then that'll shift the market in a sense, because Bitcoin is the market leader. What Bitcoin does, what a lot of these alts are going to be doing. Where would I find information on Mineral Catalyst? I don't exactly know. I didn't trade minerals. I just know that there are people who do it. I'm sure you can find them. I found a lot of my information through internet newsletters. So then you just subscribe to a newsletter, and then they give you daily updates on potential opportunities for fundamental catalysts, and then basically go down that road. But for BTC and XRP here, seeing that bullish flag pattern continue making small lower lows and lower highs on Bitcoin, which means that we're getting a little bit rejected on XRP here on the 5-minute chart. But what we do see is there is less sell volume than buy volume, which is a good thing, because obviously that means that there's more buyers within the market than sellers. Testing our support one more time. Do you have another screen watching BTC from Artsy Fartsy AKH? Yep, so what I have is I have my first screen right here. That's my main screen. That's kind of the entry exit positions, and then I do my YouTube live and stuff. And I have my screens right here, which is, I can take this one away. And I have my main 4 charts that are showing all the different alts that I'm currently trading, or looking at anyways. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I have around 8 charts that I'm looking at in total, like 8 pairs, I guess. And I have another monitor. I have another 24-inch monitor right here. So I have 3 24-inch monitors, all showing me different charts. And I have another monitor right here as well, just showing me BTC. So in total, I have 4 monitors, 3 24s, and then a 21-inch, I think, for my laptop. I don't exactly remember, but yes, to answer your question, I do have many monitors that I have that I use very often. So yeah, I have a shit ton. So I'll just take it out from this right here. So I got this right here, and I have a huge wide spanning screen here that I have. And I also have my little trade right here. But yeah. Price is holding, getting less sell volume than buy volume. Good to see. What's the screen on the left showing? Sure, so the screen on the left, we can see they have 3 different exchanges: BitMEX, Binance, and Bybit. And then you got 24-hour short, 24-hour long with a percentage. On the top one, 48%, 51%. Second one, 48%, 51%. This is showing the amount of buyers that have opened long positions on margin, or the amount of short sellers that have opened shorts on margin on different exchanges for the 24-hour time frame and for the 1 hour time frame. So it's giving me a direct amount of, in terms of the percentage, who is winning, who's putting on more trades in 24 hours and in 1 hour, the buyers or the sellers on different exchanges, because we all know Bitcoin is decentralized. There's not a central place that is going to store all the buying and selling, in a sense. Different exchanges will have different transactions. So you're looking to understand different exchanges having different amounts of supply and demand. So then you can compare different exchanges to what your overall analysis is. So artsy fartsy, if you want to enter our Discord, then you'll be able to message, my name is Keith, just message Keith, and you'll be able to, I can send you a link here, but can't really do it on TikTok, I don't think. But yeah, join a Discord, message me, and then I can send it to you basically right now. Seeing the buyers hold it up yet again, which is good to see for our long bias here. So let's see if we're able to get the price to push up here after that hold. Just going to zoom it up. Bring it right in. Oops. Okay. Let's see how BTC is doing here. Not seeing a whole lot of buy volume coming in, but seeing a little bit here. Okay, I will download Discord. Do you trade full-time for a living? Yeah, I do this to sustain my life, full-time living. I day trade every single day. On weekends, I don't. If I have a swing trade position open, I will. But yes, I do this full-time. I day trade and swing trade cryptocurrencies full-time. That's how I sustain my food and lights and phone and rent and insurance and gas and everything of that nature. So been trading for a little over 4 years. Was not profitable for the first 2. That's for sure. Yeah, grinded it out. Fucking went through hell and back. It's not, trading can be sometimes very, 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 very frustrating and to some degree depressing almost if you are putting every ounce of sweat and equity and all that stuff into it. It's not really working out. Obviously, it's a little bit frustrating, but after many years, you finally see what you're doing right and wrong, and through pain and suffering, you learn how to do it, basically. Price, did you get XRP for the trade? I entered at 23,465. And I might enter some more here if we get a little pullback, but we are getting a nice little push in volume. Risk reward of 2-to-1, sitting at 0.88%. Obviously not amazing, but we'll see where this goes. Our main resistance right here. Let's just see what a percentage is. Oh, this is really wide. Let's just get that nice and narrow. So our first main resistance is going to be around 1%, I think. And then our next main resistance is probably going to be around 1.7%. And then we got our final key resistance zone sitting at around maybe 2.4 to 2.7%. So, you know, we got an entry right now. It's looking all right. We'll see how much buy volume comes into the market. We don't want to overextend ourselves. We are counter trend trading because the trend is still to the downside. So we want to make sure that we are capturing profits pretty quickly. BTC is going to see some resistance when we get into, I think, the $8,800 zone. We'll see how it goes, but that's currently the level of confluence that I could potentially see for our next area of resistance. So We'll see how the two relationship go together, the price of XRP appreciating and the price of BTC appreciating. But for now, it's not looking too bad. So we see a little pullback here. I'd like to enter more into this trade here. Ideally, already have a good entry. Okay, so looking back at the questions here. First two, that makes me feel good. Just started. Yeah, trading takes a while, man. For 2 years, I was not super successful. Let's just say. I had a lot of difficulties with drawdowns, with patience, with waiting till the right moment to enter. I was just entering on literally everything that I thought was a decent setup. Patience was probably the most the biggest thing I had to learn from my trading journey thus far. What's a good stock to buy? I'm not going to answer that. I'm not a financial advisor giving financial advice on the equities market. I'm really pretty well versed in crypto in terms of investments and whatnot, but for stocks, I'm personally not going to give any recommendations. I'm not super bullish on the stock market, to be completely honest with you. Actually, I'm just going to quickly check. I'm not going to check right now. I'm in a trade. I want to focus. But we did see a pretty big bounce from the S&P, right? Surprising. Got a massive sell-off, and then we're seeing a correction to the upside here. So XRP is slowly, incrementally moving up here. Got a pretty good entry, I thought, in my opinion. First take profit might be 1%, somewhere around there. You know, risk reward of 2.2, 2.3. That's not so bad. Risk reward is a key factor in trading. That's what you are looking for. You're looking for risk reward and win loss and having a good relationship between the two. Oops. Oh shit. We jumped a little bit more there. Not bad. Let's see if we can push up higher here. Gaining some more traction here, which is great. And then what we're looking for is slight pullbacks at candle closures. We could potentially enter more into the pair. So we know now there's buy pressure in the market. We know we're in a bullish push here. Already have our first entry at the lows. And then we have confirmation that buyers are now in the market. We have bullish candles. We have bullish volume presented within the market right here. Yeah, spiked up as you walked away. Yeah, it did, but that's okay. I got a stop loss in the market. I'm probably going to move it up right now. So right now, our risk is currently at around 0.5%. What I'm going to do is move now my risk to probably just below this low. So it's going to be sitting at 0.3%. So from 0.5 to 0.3. So cutting it down little by little, trying to give that price room to breathe, but also not getting a major loss if it does reverse back, because we're already basically almost at a 1-to-1 risk reward probably. But we'll see how the market goes here. looking for that solid risk reward. That's what we're looking for, and we're willing to be patient for it. We're willing to take our time. We see lots of buy volume come into BTC on Binance. And we were risking 0.5%. We're around 0.45-ish, so 0.44. So just under a 1-to-1 risk reward that we currently have. And at this point, we made a new high. We could be looking at a potential higher low coming in, which would then we'd have to sit down and go through a little bit of drawdown depending on how the price moves. So we will have to see, but what I'm going to do right now is move my stop loss up now to just below this zone. So it's going to be at 0.32. It was at 0.5. So then we've reduced our risk now. Still looking to add more, right? Because we haven't fully added yet. Looking for potential to maybe 1-2%, something like that. Let's see where it goes here. Move my stop loss up. I'm happy with that. Stop loss. Let's make sure the limit's fine. Okay. All right, so artsy fartsy, to be profitable at this, one would have to invest a large amount per trade. No. If you're only taking trades where you're risking 0.5% of any trade, yeah, I do completely agree. Yeah, you would need to risk a lot, or you need to trade a lot more. But we take both swing trade and day trades. The main thing, you can change your position sizing. So like, I'm pretty heavy in this, so I'm only trading things that are pretty liquid, because in order for me to get a decent spread out, so I'm not having to get a massive spread when I get out, I need to be trading large, very liquid, highly traded coins like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, the main coins. I'm not going to be trading small time frames really on these small trades, but you know, they still are a good risk reward, and I'm happy to trade them when they're a pretty highly dependable, decent trade setup. But yeah, you are correct. I do try to look for other opportunities that allow for more percentages, but you can also just obviously leverage as well. So if you're risking 1% here, you can leverage, for example, twice. So then now you're risking 1% of your account. If you want to leverage 4 times, well, then you're risking 2% of your account. So it's pretty easy to leverage up to find a risk reward that you are comfortable with in terms of risk against the total portfolio. So we're getting a bit of a rejection here at the double top. Let's just check in on the 1 minute. It's looking, or sorry, the 1 hour, not the 1 minute. It's looking pretty good. Still seeing the support hold, which is good, but definitely getting a bit of a rejection here. We did reduce our risk significantly, which is good. We're seeing a lot less sell volume, which is only 30 seconds left until the candle closes. We can see the time over there. So we only got 30 more seconds until the candle closes. But definitely made a higher high. Now this could be the higher low. Looking to maybe enter more depending on how this closes. If we get a little wick to the downside, if we push a little bit higher, that will obviously give me a little bit more indication that we are going to go higher. But Right now, we're just being patient here. We already see more buy volume coming in on the 1 hour candle, which is good. So we got the 5-minute closure. New 5-minute candle to start. Let's see where it's going to go here. And let's also look at the other pairs. Link is basically at our resistance that we initially had at the morning. Ethereum is still holding our resistance that we've drawn in from the morning, holding the higher highs, but not breaking above it. ADA hit our descending trend line, which is actually a pretty significant zone. Might be actually something that we could be interested in potentially, just with that zone right there, because it is such a key area that we are breaking on Cardano. Definitely seeing a little bit more sell pressure come into the market here. Not so much buy volume, so we're going to be patient. We're going to wait and see how it reacts if it does come back to this area. So we still do see more buy volume than sell volume. Still volume accumulation within the market. I don't want to stop the trade short and basically break even at this point because we're at the entry area right now. I also want to give risk in this ascending green trend line. Still, I think, could act as a support. So I am giving room, but I definitely could give more room if I really wanted to. Let's look at the 5-minute here to see how BTC is looking. It's not looking bad. The price is holding, looks like at the support. We got just under 3 minutes left on the 5-minute candle. Definitely got a pretty big rejection from XRP here. We were never really up a lot to begin with, but we did see decent buy volume come into the market here. So that definitely says something. And the last few days, we've been cutting the trades off a little too quick, not giving the price room, and then the trade going to a 2 risk reward, maybe 3 risk reward. So today, I have it written down here. I need to give the price a little bit more room to breathe. Instead of cutting the trade off, breaking it even super quick, I'm going to try to give that price more room to breathe in order to give me more exposure. So if the price does go toward my intended direction, I still get exposure to it, and I still get to make some money here. You too, artsy fartsy. You too, take care. Thank you very much for tuning in. I might give that price a little bit more room, to be completely honest. Because I'm happy with it. I have an ascending trend line connect the higher lows. So this is an ascending push above. Yeah, I'm liking the overall structure, to be completely honest. I might give this a little bit more room. I like it. I don't want to get stopped out too quickly. I think we could still push to a zone. The main thing is BTC. I just want it to hold. We got 16 minutes until this candle closes here. I'm going to probably reduce, because it was at 0.5, now it's at 0.3. I'm probably just going to put it down a little bit. So around there. Giving that price a little bit more room to breathe. About 0.35. And if it drops below and hits our stop loss, it does. Not the absolute end of the world. We're trying to reduce risk a little bit, but not too much that we are just getting stopped out and then the trade goes towards our intended direction. So learning from yesterday's mistakes, we're trying to improve on today's actions. So we'll see if buyers start entering at what should be our support that we've been holding here for multiple tries. So we'll see where BTC goes. If BTC starts dumping right now, we're definitely going to obviously just blow through our stop loss. But if BTC is able to remain its buy pressure and hold, then we have a good chance here. But initial reaction is not looking phenomenal. $14 minutes till the 1 hour closes. Pretty happy with the entry right now. Let's go like that because I have just added more. So now we're a little heavier. Who has currently money in Tesla? I do not. Okay, so seeing that buy volume come back a little bit more. So we'll see if it's going to push up here. To the high, not looking great, 0.5%. If it goes to the high and we get a no demand at that zone, we should be seeing more demand come in when we're about to breach a resistance. So we'll see how it goes. Got 2 minutes on this 5-minute candle. Hopefully it closes bullish. That would obviously be great for our entry that we currently have long on XRP. $11 minutes to go on the 11 minutes to go, sorry, on the 1 hour candle still. So got a bit of time for that. Seeing a lot more buy volume than sell volume, which is great. It's just not getting the push up here that we're wanting to, or that we are wanting to see right now. But VSA is looking great. Market structure is looking great. Previous resistance is holding as a nice new level of support. Broken the descending trend line, as we can see on the 1 hour chart. So price action confirmed, market structure confirmed, VSA confirmed, all leading to a potential move to the upside, in our opinion, in the short-term time frame for XRP. So we'll see how it goes here. Going to remain very, very patient while we are in this trade. We already have our stop loss set, so we don't need to do anything. We're just going to try to basically get to the 3, 2.5, 3.5 something risk reward. So that's the plan, and we'll see how it goes. We'll see what Bitcoin does, because at this point Bitcoin is just consolidating sideways on the 5-minute chart. On the hour chart, we have rejected the area of what is a support, which is good, and hopefully we get some buy pressure to come soon after here, pushing the price to our next area of resistance. That is the hope, that is the goal, and that is the anticipation for this trade. Not really a no supply there. Let's just see these ones. Yep. Okay. Okay. Wow. JL shared the current live. Thank you very much for sharing the current live. So we'll see if we hold here. BTC is pulling back. As we can see, we are getting a pullback from Bitcoin, hitting a resistance, and we are getting a pretty significant push to the downside from Bitcoin, which is showing on XRP. Not getting a significant amount of volume within this candle, but showing the strength by the amount of distance it's moving here. But let's see where it's going to go. We're still got a good range until our stop loss is hit. And we've got 2 minutes until this candle closes. So let's see where it holds. Let's see where it goes. Really just touching our trend line here. This is the last area that we are wanting to see the price hold. If it goes below this, our stop loss is going to get triggered. Might lower it just a little bit, because what's like 0.2%? Going to lower it a little bit more here, giving the price a little bit more room, because it could just be a wick. I'm going to put it at this zone. So it's at 0.4 now. I don't want to just get wicked out here, because that's what happened last time, and then the price went in our intended direction pretty well very soon after. So we'll see where this closes. If it closes below the zone, definitely not looking great. If it's able to pull back here and retrace and close at that zone, then that is fantastic. But at this point in time, let's just see if it's going to push down below here. I have a market sell, so I haven't sold my positions yet. But I'm really, because this is the max loss, 0.5. That's where we are initially at. So this is the max loss I initially had for the trade planned out. And we haven't hit it yet. And I moved the stop loss higher, but I don't know if that was the right move. So Let's just see if it's going to hit the 0.5. If it hits the 0.5, then doesn't push back up instantly because we just got the candle to close. If we push down below, we are then going to get out of the trade here. So we'll see how it reacts. If we get some bulls to come back, then we'll keep the trade. But if the bears continue the down move and push the price lower, then we will have to unfortunately get out because this obviously does not look great for a daily. So that was a pretty bearish candle, and I think that unless we pick up very quickly will be the close of this trade. So we will see how it goes. We don't want to close just yet. We have this basic 5-minute candle until the 1 hour closes, and if the 1 hour closes bearish, that's obviously not looking great, and I'm probably going to close the position off. And if it goes below the 5.5%, then I'll close the position off as well. We're just seeing if it's able to come back here and push back up, but BTC does not look very strong. It's not looking great for this overall trade. And let's see if we get any more bearish volume. We're probably going to get out of the market. But like always, we want to see that happening. It's weird. Bitcoin's going down while we're getting a pullback. But it could just be the retest of this trend line here, right? So might be the case. Overall, we're getting some bearish action here. So just waiting, seeing what it's doing, seeing how the candle closures are. Just seeing what the drop is from here to around 0.35, okay. Got 2 minutes and 20 seconds till this 1 hour closes. Definitely a little bit more sell volume that we wanted on XRP here. But you know, remaining calm, we're remaining patient. If it gets kind of above that zone again, that's terrific. But right now, BTC is not looking great. So we're going to see what it does here. XRP is moving to the upside. Wow. A lot of people hitting the bid. Pretty bearish. But it's holding, and we're seeing more buy volume than sell volume. So we'll see where it goes here. Okay, so we got 1 more minute till this candle closes. Nothing else really is in an opportunity to long. My personal opinion. Okay, I got 10 more seconds till this candle closes. So it's the Hour candle looking like it's going to close red. That's not great. I'm going to take a little bit of the position off, seeing how it rejects, because that is a pretty good push and then a pullback to reject the zone. So we'll see how it reacts here initially. If it initially shoots up, obviously we're not wanting to get out, but you know, at this point in time, it broke our horizontal zone, made a lower low, but you know, we'll see how it goes. If it's able to push up, then that's terrific. We'll be able to get to an entry here. Okay, well, that's not so bad. All right, well, that's not so bad. Seeing a little bit more buy volume coming into the market here. Basically right at the entrance. So very, very, very happy that I was patient on that one, because I definitely didn't think that there would be that much sell pressure. But basically back at the break-even point. But BTC is still consolidating. Hopefully we get a bullish move up here. It's looking like it could use it right now. It's looking like it could. Pullback, extension. We'll see where it goes. Hour candle I don't love. Might take a little bit more off, or a little bit off here, because it's holding, but we're very, very close to that zone, which is nice. BTC is not right now. Yeah, I guess it's holding a little bit, but I was waiting for that consolidation to push a little bit quicker. Hopefully, that was the zone I thought it was going to push. Yeah, it's not looking good. I'm going to sell a little bit more of my position here. Pretty hard rejection. Okay, I'm taking some profits or taking some positions off here. And then the rest I'm going to get off if it drops below that zone. And I think that's a close for this trade here. Unsuccessful on this one. Got a little bit emotional with Link because that pushed so strong to the upside. Over a 7% move. Got me a little excited. Entered a little bit prematurely on, or a little bit, maybe prematurely. I'm happy with the entry, to be completely honest, even though it might have not gone according to plan. To be honest, I thought that was a pretty good entry, so I'm going to stick with that. So get the 2, 4, 6, and then we got to do some math here. Yeah, BTC is definitely dumping. I'm happy with getting out of that position at that time there. No problem. Okay, so let's just do some okay. Okay, so I think I'm gonna quit this TikTok live here. There's not a whole lot more action. I'm basically just gonna wait until EOS does something. Other than that, not a whole lot to do in the market here. I think I'm just gonna not really trade for the rest of the day. Back test, do some other work. But at this point in time, I think it makes sense to just wait it out. BNB looks good for a short, slowly coming here. Link was the trade of the day. Definitely missed that one. That was the trade of the day. That would have been fucking killer. But it happens. You missed them. So let's. I'm gonna do a quick little update before we go to bed, or I'll probably just do it myself. I won't update everyone because there's not a lot of people watching. But I will update myself on what might happen tomorrow, and then hopefully we'll be bright and early for tomorrow. Saw Link move up. Got a little, not FOMO, but interest because there was buyers in the market shooting up. Like we were initially looking at this before it moved the 7%, and that could have been such a good entry. And unfortunately, couldn't get it. Couldn't get the entry. So it's okay. Next time. Would have been a really good one, though. Damn. You guys get one trade. That one trade in a day that you know you should have caught. We were looking at it. We were looking to enter. Next time. Next time. Don't be greedy. Enter a feeler trade. Enter a position. Did on XRP. It was just the wrong trade. This did not... meet as much of the criteria as Link, but you know, at the end of the day, we pulled the trigger on the wrong pair, it seems. But we'll see what BTC does. We got a nice trend line here on the 5-minute chart, respecting it. If it holds, that's great. If it doesn't, then we'll potentially look for shorts here. But at this point in time, we are currently not looking for trades in the market. So thank you very much for watching. Till next time, happy trading. I think I'm just going to move this just like so. All right. Okay, let's reflect on what we did wrong here. For the day.